Hello, Playdate. This is Don.
This is Nick,
And I'm Ryan.
This week, we are not covering Playdate news.
and we are not covering recent indie releases.
But we are celebrating our triple digit episode milestone with your typically tolerable trio of talkers.
Very nice. Thank you for listening. Let's get started.
Let's get started indeed. 100 episodes, guys. That's some news and notes right there. Am I right?
It's
Triple
notable.
digits. Yeah.
Sure, Ryan. It's notable to Ryan.
It's exciting to me. I've never done 100 episodes of a podcast before. I know you guys have. It's old hat, but I'm excited. I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe Don let me be here for 100 episodes.
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute, Ryan.
Okay.
You got a little ways to go. You got a little ways to go, so don't get too excited yet.
All right. Well, since we have no real segments this episode, what are we doing for boops, guys?
Boopless. We're going to be
feel like
boopless
I'm
from now on. All the boops have been exhausted.
Oh, okay.
We are
All
boop
right.
free.
The well has run dry.
Podcast.
You know
Yes.
what we do have this episode are some lovely listener voicemails. So maybe I should boop us into each voicemail, starting with one of our favorite devs, Ledbetter, calling up with some real nice words. Let's listen to those right about now.
Hey guys, this is Dylan from Ledbetter Games. Don, Nick, Ryan, I just wanted to call in for your 100th episode and tell you how grateful I am for all of your consistent coverage over the Playdate over the last several years. I started listening to the podcast, I don't know, somewhere in the first 10 episodes and had a great time coming in as a guest. I think it was on episode 12. I'm super thankful for the shout outs you give me and my projects over the last, 80 plus episodes, and I can't wait to hear that much and more. So keep on keeping on. Thank you. And I hope there are a few other people calling in to say as much. Have a great day, guys. Hey, this is Dylan from Ledbetter again. I went so fast last time that I forgot to say I was absolutely floored to be on the Game of the Year list from you guys. And I am so thankful that you have appreciated the games I've put out, and I hope to bring you a whole bunch more.
Thank you so much, Dylan, for the voicemail. Thank you so much for being supportive of the show, for listening, and for sharing your wonderful ideas and thoughts and ideas.
And
Did I say ideas twice? Games with
and the game of the
community.
year was totally deserved too. So yes, indeed, that is not even a call for thanks. It's just deserved. So Dylan, thank you for being such an incredible part of the Playdate community and for taking the
Yes.
time to reach out to us. That was so extraordinarily cool of you.
And that game
And
was
keep-
Off Planet Dreams
Yeah.
That's right.
last year.
Keep developing cool Playdate experiences and getting out there and sharing the joy of the little yellow console with everybody.
Yes.
Thanks, Ledbetter.
And I wanted to mention a voicemail you're not going to hear is from Adams Immersive, released Outside Parties last week, and gave us a voicemail reciting review codes for us. The voicemail was the codes. It was very cool. It fit in with the theme of Outside Parties and had this retro, creepy Stranger Things-ish vibe or whatever. I don't know, but it was very cool. But obviously, if we played the voicemail, then it would just be you guys listening to a bunch of letters and numbers.
It was really neat, though, and I had a little communication with Adams Immersive about that voicemail because I was so taken with it, and he let me know that it was recorded by the voice actor for Outside Parties. So very cool that he fit that into the dev budget. So thanks very much for the review codes and for the really unique way that you delivered them. Much appreciated.
Indeed.
Awesome. Getting our 100th off to the right start. And speaking of which, Don, I hear that you've been putting in some work for this 100th episode.
Just a little. I ran through some stats on our 100 episodes, 100 plus, because we had a couple bonus episodes in there.
I mention I love stats?
I love stats as well.
I'm really excited about whatever this is going to be. I have no idea what these stats are.
Nick,
have you been privy to any of this?
I have not, so I'm excited.
All right, we're learning with you, listener. Don, what you got?
I hope the listeners are excited. Our first episode debuted May 3rd, 2022. And do you guys know who our special guest was on that first episode?
I do.
Ryan does, because he was our special guest. It initially
Yeah,
was just Nick and I
that's true.
were the hosts, and Ryan was our special guest because Ryan was so into Whitewater Wipeout, which was the we were reviewing game by game with the season one.
And the reason I was a special guest and not a host is because, well, you guys very kindly reached out to me and pitched me this whole thing about doing a trio podcast. And I'm like, "Ah, I don't think I can spare the time. I can't spare a square, guys, but maybe one episode." And I couldn't quit it after that. Well, I did quit it for episode 2, but then you got me for the rest of the 98 episodes, whether you liked it or
Right.
not.
Nick and I did 190 episodes plus 5 bonus episodes and a blog post from longtime friend of the show, Chef Star, of the Gaming on 10 Minutes a Week podcast prior to that. So this is technically our 299th episode that Nick and I had done.
It all
Wow.
depends on how you count, Ryan.
I
Yes.
guess so.
So next episode is our 300th Nick and Don podcast.
Wow, what are we
Forget about-
doing, Don?
Forget about that other guy.
Right.
Do we have a big celebration plan?
So the third episode on May 17th, 2022, Ryan was officially added as the third chair, but he did not have a pick of a week for some reason until episode 4. So that third
really?
episode was just me and Nick. And then
Interesting.
Ryan suggested on that episode, I listened back this week, that we omit the numbers. Ryan's obsessed with us numbering these 100 episodes, but he's the one who suggested that we omit numbers from our episode
No.
titles.
Really?
Yes.
No.
I listened to it.
This is more surprising than the golf scenario. That happened
Yeah, I
a little
know.
while back. What?
You
No,
said
I
that
swear-
iTunes or Apple doesn't like it when you number episodes or something in the titles, and so
My
we
memory
shouldn't do
totally
that.
has you saying all these things. You've got to
No.
be kidding me.
Listen to
Wow.
episode 4 because I made a note right here.
Oh my gosh. All
I
right.
didn't listen to all 100, so but I did
Episode
hear you say
4.
that. Yes.
I'm coming for you.
Of the 100 episodes, 3 episodes are just the game title because I couldn't think of anything. Usually I put like a subject and then the game title, but 3 of them I couldn't be bothered to think of what we talked about. Nothing exciting happened in the news, so I just gave up and put the title of the game. One of them is just the episode number, is just the title. It's just called episode 15 because I wasn't there. I was in Portugal and it was just you two. So you just called it episode 15. All the
My
rest,
creativity was gone.
yes, all the rest have at least the featured game in the title. Episode 25 is when we started putting the pick of the week in the show title. Before that, they were just silly names, whatever I thought was funny or something funny we said during the show. And then we had 4 interview episodes. Do you guys remember the 4 interview subjects? Ryan interviewed?
I do because I'm the one who interviewed all of them.
Yeah.
Nick, do you remember any of these?
I remember that you interviewed Arissa.
Nope.
Nope,
No?
that's not one of them. No.
Okay. I remember nothing then.
Let's see.
Mandela effect there.
If I can
Yeah.
remember, if I can remember all of them, there was Krista Mergen. There was the spell corked team of the Triple Ryan episode. There was Nick F, who he and I chat game strategy on a bunch of different games. And then also, I'm gonna feel real bad about this when you tell me. Who was it? Who was the
It
fourth?
was Julia Minamata.
Julia, that's right. That's right.
Yes, the recommendation dog director.
That's right. Yep.
On May 23rd, 2023. That was the last interview. So it's
Okay.
been quite a while. But Krista Mergen was the first one, June 7th, 2022, right after we started the show. And then Nick F was August 3rd, that same summer. Ryan Kingdom and Ryan Splendor of Spellcork
Yep.
fame were right after that, September 27th. So you were on a roll that summer. And then you took 6 months off, and it's been 2 years since then, almost 3. but that's okay.
Yeah, those are fun. I wish I had more time to do more interviews, but they do require some more time on my part. But I do love them. Anyway, those were some fun stats, Don. Thank you. Are there more?
There are just a couple more. Didn't we have Ledbetter on the show, or have we not had him yet?
He might have guest
Yeah.
hosted, but not interviewed.
I thought we had him, but I don't have him listed here. So I must have
Huh.
had poor show notes on that episode. So my
Huh.
apologies to Ledbetter. But we have had 4 other special guests. Can you name any of those?
I think I
Scenic
can name a
Route
few.
Steve.
Yeah. And then
yeah.
Greg from Fat Nose Games.
Greg from Fat Nose Gate. I
Right?
think his name's George, but yes.
George, good golly. Yep. That's what I said.
And also
And-
Ollie Ko, also known as Pixel Ghost.
Uh-huh.
And Gabe Swar of Bubbo Collect fame.
Mm.
Yes.
And also Nick Mangnier, I think, of Pick Pack Pup.
That's right.
Oh, that's right. These are harder for me to remember because anytime we have a special guest, it's when I'm gone.
That's pretty true. Well, funny you mentioned that, Ryan. I made a list of who has missed what episodes.
Ooh, let's hear this.
Who do you think has missed the most episodes?
Probably
I'm gonna
me.
say Nick.
You think? Oh, I'm gonna say it's me, Ryan.
Who's missed the least?
Dawn.
Say
Come on
Don.
now.
Yeah.
You're our rock.
There's actually a tie.
Oh,
Hmm.
really?
Nick and I are tied
Oh.
For least episodes missed.
for least. Yes, Nick and
Okay.
I have both missed 4 episodes.
Okay.
Okay.
Ryan has missed.
That's a respectable number. I'm just going to throw that out there before we hear this number.
Missing one every 25 episodes. That's pretty good.
Pretty good. Yeah. Ryan has missed 10.
More than both of you put together.
And does that include the one that he wasn't officially part of the podcast?
Yes,
Or
that
no?
does include episode
Oh,
2.
okay. So
Okay.
he's missed nine.
So
He's
that's
missed.
that's more like 9, and then I make up for it with those interviews. So it's more like
So,
5.
so
More like 5,
Ryan,
more like 5.
Ryan, you're saying that we should count the interviews as full episodes now.
Here we go.
So episode 105, Ryan can celebrate, I guess. Is that what you're saying?
I'm trying to clarify. Yeah.
I'm celebrating right now. I don't care who says what. This is episode 100. We're celebrating. Gosh darn it.
That's fine. All right, most annoying episode. I'm going to give the award to episode 28, The Lushes Land. That's
What?
when I thought it would be funny to. It was an April Fool's episode. I thought it'd be funny to bleep all of your boops.
Oh.
But I didn't normalize the beep, and so it was super loud every time I
Oh.
beeped. So don't listen to that episode. And then
You never went back and changed that?
no, I never edited it. Well, so here's a little how the sausage is made. I just delete the episodes after I'm done with them. They're not saved anywhere. Oh, they're
Really?
saved, I guess, on Libsyn, but I just delete
Yeah.
them otherwise.
Yeah,
Oh,
we can
interesting.
download them from there and then correct them if we
Man,
wanted to.
You
Someone else
are
can download them from there.
file management ruthless, Don. Wow. I'm
Yeah.
impressed.
Every
I
week they
keep
get-
everything.
You
I'm a
delete them
file
the
hoarder.
same night. If I don't
Me?
mix
Oh.
the episode that night, Ryan's like, "Oh, sorry, your backup's gone."
I mean, if I edit the episode, I have my layered file, present that I could go back and change if I wanted to.
Oh, yeah, no. Once it's uploaded, that's that. Well,
Okay,
I keep it
interesting.
for a week or whatever. I mean, I'll download last week's episode, or I'll delete
Okay.
it tonight.
All right. That's
Anyway.
fair.
Okay, and then also, do you guys remember what Pick of the Week was called before it was called Pick of the Week?
What? I mean, for a while we were doing season 1 for the first, 12 episodes or something.
Well, it
And-
was season 1, but
But
we still had
we also
still had a
had-
Pick of the Week as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
But
during
that was
those
when
episodes.
But that was when our pick of the week was not shared. Like you would pick one game, Nick would pick a different game, and I would pick another, and we'd all just like speak separately, all on the
Yes.
same episode, right?
Correct.
Which was, in retrospect, not a great idea.
Well, that
Because we'd-
that sort of followed the gaming on 10 method, where Nick and I would just talk about whatever we played that week.
I'm so glad that we have more of a shared experience now. I think that was such a wonderful change that we made. But what was it called before pick of the week?
It had 2 names. It started out with Indie Games of the Week, and then
A little
eventually,
wordy. Yeah.
and
That
then
was
eventually,
separate from indie inventory?
yes.
Huh.
Well, yeah, it was because inventory is just games that came out that week.
Okay, okay.
And then eventually it became Pixel Panel. That's when it became the book club type format. We all played the same
Ah.
game, but we
Hmm.
all just called it the pick of the week. What are we picking this week?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And so we threw that away, and it became pick of the week, and we stuck
That's
with
Huh.
that for quite a while.
that's more instantly understandable, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. We tried to make it cute.
Yeah.
All those trademark fees were adding up, though.
All right. All right.
Oh man.
Final thing to talk about is what devs do you think we have covered the most games from?
Scenic Route
Ooh,
Software.
I would say yes, and probably Ledbetter as well. Um, but I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
I'll bet
Let us
Ledbetter's
know.
up there. Yeah. Oh, no, who's Dawn's Honey Muffin? It's um
Ryan's onto something.
Mouflon Cloud?
Muflon's only got 2 games, but we've covered
Gingerbeard
both of
Man.
them. Yeah,
Gingerbeard Man.
Gingerbeard Man is tied
Okay.
with Scenic Route. We've covered
Wow.
both 4 games for Matt Sefton and Scenic Route. We covered 4 Track, Yo-Yozo, Sparrow Solitaire with Mac,
Oh yeah,
and
that was a tag team
Circular.
one. Huh.
And then Scenic Route,
Circular.
Circular. Yeah, I think maybe Nick picked that game though, very early
Huh.
on. And then Scenic Route was Post Hero Generations, Four Corners, and Shift. Although I don't remember doing Four Corners, but I guess
Hmm.
we covered it at some point. And then, yeah, Ledbetter, we only did Off Planet Dreams and Art 7. Nick picked Along Came a Spider, Valley of the Hollow, and Crank Gym from Fat Nose. There's a bunch where we did too, like
Uh-huh.
SN Studios, Tochi, and the Lush's Land. Digicarrot, we did Negative Reinforcement, Queen of
Yeah.
Minecarts, and
Mm-hmm.
Escapeon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Um,
Digicarrot's probably up there too.
Squid
Yeah.
God, we had 3. Core Fault with Dave Makes, The King's
Sounds like
Dungeon, and Escape from Complex 32.
okay. So Squid God and Digicarrot are tied for second place, it sounds like.
Yeah,
Three
they're up there.
apiece. Okay.
Yeah. And then
Well,
James Game Boy with Crop Duster and Goo Game is up there.
I feel like that's a pretty good spread. Like we're not super heavy on any one particular dev.
No. Yeah, well, I
Spread the
mean,
love. We
as
try
far
to
as
spread the love.
mentions, like I think probably Scenic Route is mentioned a lot. Scenic Route, Ledbetter, and Zania Lasagna are mentioned constantly,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they're
Well,
very active in the community, of course. And then like Deimos, Joyrider, Mouflon Cloud, NNNN, Steven Allen,
Irish Jiminy.
Paw Prints, Totally Under Control. Yeah, Iris Jiminy. I mean, there's a lot of devs that are just very active.
Yeah,
So anyway,
very cool. Well,
there's the
Don,
stats.
I super fancy those stats. Thank you for taking the time to comb through all those episodes and figure that all out. That's so cool. Thank
Sure,
you for
that
doing
was
that.
fun.
That was very fun. Well, speaking of fun and speaking of devs mentioned on the show, why don't we play a little voicemail from one of those devs right now?
Hello, Don, Nick, and Ryan. This is Steve from Scenic Route Software. So huge congratulations on 100 episodes. It's a big milestone. Of the 2 podcasts I listen to, this is definitely my favorite. Um, you guys are often self-deprecating with the impact that your show has on people. So I wanted to enumerate some of the ways that it's been a positive thing in my own life. So Don, the episode where you talked about Shift meant a whole lot to me. It was the first time a stranger said nice things about a game I'd made, and I still listen to that episode every once in a while when I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. Ryan, the only reason that my games have local profiles is because in the Generations episode, you talked about how your son and you wanted to play the game at the same time, but you couldn't because you had a game going. So that's why they all do it now. Also, Ryan, the cross stitch you sent me, that was so kind. It's hanging on the wall in my office. I smile every time I see it. I'm looking at it right now and I'm smiling. So that was amazing. Thank you so much. Nick, you and I met in person a few years ago when my daughter and I were in town. You turned her on to pinball, which she had never played before. We're big adventure game fans, you and I've been working on a new project recently, and there are some things that I'm doing specifically with you in mind. So guys, keep up the amazing work. Here's to the next 100 episodes, and maybe you'll have me on one of them because that was fun. See ya.
Oh man, Scenic Route Software, thank you so much for that. Singling out each one of us. And oh my gosh, we're the favorite of two podcasts. Hey, what do you guys think about that?
I'm curious what the other podcast is. But no,
I'll bet it sets a very low bar.
well, no.
That was an
Go ahead, Nick.
extremely kind voicemail. Thanks so much,
Totally.
Steve, for leaving that. And also, I am very excited to have been able to introduce your daughter to pinball. Thanks very much for coming down and spending some time with me and checking out my game, and also getting to talk Playdate and dev and all the fun things. And I'm extremely excited about whatever you got cooking adventure game-ish wise. So looking forward to hearing about a project that tickles my fancy. So yeah.
Yeah, I thought about that voicemail several times this week, and yeah, it really made me smile. And I was surprised that he came out of the gate so strong with Shift and hadn't had outside praise before that, because it was just such a great game and amazing first title. And then he's followed it up with just hit after hit after hit. So
Totally. And they're all so different from one another too. It's not like there is
That's the
a
crazy
Scenic
thing,
Route
yeah.
style. They're all over the board, but all just really heavy hitting, polished games. So anyway, Steve, thank you so much for leaving that wonderful voicemail. We're so happy to have you a part of our community too. And speaking of this wonderful community, I have a surprise for Dawn and Nick right now. They do not know this is happening. Dawn and Nick, are you ready for a surprise?
sure, hope so.
Yeah.
All right. I just tossed a link for you in the show notes. And dear listener, as they are clicking on this link in the show notes, I'm going to ask them if they will describe this. This might be really bad podcasting because this is a visual thing, but once they start describing this, I'm going to try to elaborate. So, Don and Nick, what do you see here?
It appears that Ryan has had a Hello Playdate enamel pin manufactured, and it uses the beautifully illustrated logo that Ryan made. Ryan, do you remember when that logo was introduced?
Way too late. I think it was episode like 60 something. Is that right? I'm
It's been
surprised
it's been
that
a
wasn't part
while.
of the stats. Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
it took me a while. It was like a good 2 years of podcasting before I finally got off my butt because I was making one bite at a time. So I think it was somewhere in 2024 that happened. Um,
so this is a 1 inch by 1.5 inch enamel lapel pin.
yes, and these pins are en route to you both right now. So they
Oh
are
my
in the
gosh.
mail.
Whoa.
They arrived recently, not quite in time for me to get it to you for this episode, but they are literally in the mail right now. But I did take some nice pictures of these, and while Dawn and Nick each get one of their own to celebrate this 100th episode milestone, I also want to make these available to any of our listeners. So I am going to toss a second URL in the show notes of our episode. So, Dawn, here's the one to actually include. And that's the one that has some ordering information. So, if you are a Hello Playdate podcast fan and are interested in this pin, I'm selling them to you for not very much money. They're $12. It's die cast metal pin with some really lovely glossy black nickel plating, so you can see the line art nice and well. It's 6 different colors, even though it looks pretty monochromatic. There's like a number of different colors to make it look like the Playdate is dimensional and has varying shades of gray and yellow. There's also some deluxe locking clasps on the back. So I don't know if you guys have ever had enamel pins where there's like a rubber backer and those, for me,
Hmm.
those always slip off. And
Yeah.
even the metal butterfly clasps, I've had those slip off on me too. But I recently was introduced to these deluxe locking clasps, and boy, howdy, they are really, really secure. So I foot the extra bill for that. And I'm just over the moon with how they came out. You can click on any one of these images to blow it up real nice and big and take a closer look at it. If you are in the States, these are going to be $12 plus $6 shipping. If you're in Canada, the shipping is $12. If you're in the UK, the shipping is $15. If you're anywhere else, please shoot me a line, and I'm happy to investigate shipping for you. Um, and with that said, I only had a very limited amount of these made. Usually I make like 100 pins when I make something, but this is pretty limited. So I made 25 of these things. One's going to Don, one's going to Nick, one's for me. And if Don and Nick want one for their kids or something, I'm happy to send those too. But so I'm just saying there's 20 available. So if you hop in here and order one real quick, like probably for the best, but I don't think they're going to be around very long. First and foremost, our listeners are getting them. Once Friday hits, I'm going to open it up to my Patreon. And then after that, I'm going to toss it out to my readers on my email list. So get in there while the getting's good.
Well, Ryan, thanks so much for doing this.
Yeah.
These are really cool, and I don't know, Don, if you had any inkling of this, but
No.
I sure did not. So Ryan's been toiling on this in secret, and um, I know I haven't worked with you, Ryan, on an enamel pin before, but I talked with you as you worked through the production process of the Coin-Op Carnival pin, and that was a lengthy and uh, endeavor. It took a lot of work. So
Yeah. Yep.
I'm really uh, shocked, flattered. I don't know what the correct word is, but thank you, Ryan, for doing all the work to make this happen. It's
Of
really cool.
course.
Nice
Yeah.
surprise.
I really wanted to give each of you something special for these 100 episodes. Like I said, my first 100 episodes of anything. So I feel really lucky to get together with you guys every fortnight and shoot the breeze and catch up with each other. So this has been a really special thing for me, and I hope this little memento conveys some of that anyway.
Very cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thanks, Ryan. Yeah.
cool. Welp, speaking of cool 100th celebration things, who wants to announce this next one?
Guess what, everybody? We have a Centennial Celebration catalog game group. It's our very
What?
own game group in catalog, and you can view this on device or on the website. And there
Hey.
will be a link in the show notes. Ryan made all the artwork for the header here, but each of us picked 4 different games that we thought would be a good introduction to some of the titles that we enjoy on the Playdate. This is not exhaustive. It's not a huge list of every game that we've ever played on the Playdate or that we picked for our pick of the week, or every game that we've ever enjoyed. Period. But these are 4 that we think are solid entries that'll give you a glimpse into the taste that each of us has and some of the interests that we bring to the podcast.
Yeah, yeah. So we've got 12 games in total, 4 from each of us, and we'd like to just take a moment here to chat with you about each of them. So, Nick, do you want to start out with your first pick
Well,
in no particular order? I think it's no particular order.
hang on. Can I also say that well, thank you, Ryan, for making the art, which is really great. Thank you, Arissa, for helping us make this happen, and for Ryan for
Yes.
facilitating this. It was kind of just like this cool idea. Hey, wouldn't it be cool if we could put a collection together on the Playdate and on the catalog store? And then Ryan helped make it happen, Arissa helped make it happen, and it's just amazing that that it's real,
Yeah.
and it's so cool. And as far as the games that were selected, I feel like this is sort of like a collaboration. There's not like a Nick game on here that, oh, that's a Nick pick and everybody, I hate it kind of thing. Like the games
Right,
that sort of
right.
like Nick picked in quotes or that Ryan picked really speak to, I think, all of us. And
Yes,
this is a good
I would agree.
collection for the show. I don't think, I mean, I know Ryan doesn't really care for one of my games, but in general, our community kind of got around the games that we chose, and uh, they aren't necessarily any of our singular game of the year winners, although some of them are, but they're games that do represent the Playdate sort of in our hearts and that come up a lot on the show and that are mentioned frequently or had a big impact on the way we view the Playdate and kind of cross over between our tastes, in my opinion. I mean, that's how
I
I see your picks, Ryan and Nick.
I think you're right about that because as we were brainstorming these lists and putting them forth to one another in our private chat, I think our reactions were pretty much like, "Oh yeah, that's a great pick. Oh yeah, we loved that." So it's kind of our, an introduction to if somebody picked up the Playdate and they're like, "What should I play? Like, what is a good game?" Because there's over 1,000 available. Where do you even
Hmm.
go? Well, here's
that's
like a top
crazy.
12 that you can, start picking and choosing from. And I don't think there's a dud in this group.
Yeah. There's two games on Ryan's list that if he hadn't chosen, I would have found room on my list for, and one on Nick's list that if he hadn't picked, I would have found room for. So there's a lot of interplay here. So
Yeah,
anyway, okay.
cool. Well, with that said, Nick, do you want to start us off?
All right. I'm going to start off with Post Hero. So we briefly mentioned that earlier in the show, but this is made by Scenic Route Software. It's a point and click adventure game. It's a nice, meaty for the Playdate adventure that you can settle into, and you're playing a postal worker. And you are tasked with delivering mail. And there are a number of really fun and inventive puzzles that need to be solved in order to get from here to there. So this game, if you enjoy point and click adventures, or if you're interested in kind of what those look like, this is a great game to get started kind of in that world. And it's a fun adventure with a lot of humor and great artwork as well.
I would say pretty accessible too. Like there's
Mhm.
a lot of features that were not on original PC point and click computer games that make this experience a little nicer for a newcomer to point and clicks. And unlike Whiteout, the Whiteout that Scenic Route Software also did, which is also a point and click game, I think the theme is more approachable here. I personally, if I had to pick between Post Hero and the Whiteout, I think I'd go for the Whiteout. It's just so thematically immersive. But this one definitely has a more lighthearted feel to it. And I think consequently, probably a better introduction to point and click games on the Playdate.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I would go for Post Hero. Like
Oh,
I
interesting.
this was a memorable. I mean, I like both, but this is one that I would replay before the Whiteout, or more frequently. And listeners, keep an eye out for a Hello Playdate Easter egg in Post Hero.
That's right. I refuse to rank the Whiteout and Post Hero because they're both incredible games
And wildly different despite
and
being point and
wildly
click
different.
games. Yes,
And they're both extremely worth the playthrough, in my opinion.
no
But
doubt. No doubt.
Post Hero is fantastic, and definitely give it a play if you haven't.
Mhm.
All right.
Wholeheartedly agree.
Excellent. So, Ryan, what's your
Yes.
first pick?
All right. I'm taking it back to 2023, I think, with the fall of Elena Temple. So this game sunk its teeth into me real deep, and I love platformers. I love puzzle platformers. This is definitely a puzzle platformer. As you make your way around a level, you can sort of crank to undo something that you did and sort of make your way back up. And the number of times that you can uh, pull back or undo what you did changes throughout the game itself. There's new mechanics involved. I just thought it was such an interesting, clever, fun mechanic to introduce for the Playdate, this whole like crank to undo thing, which became part of the puzzle piecing of this game. And I just had so much fun with this. This was my game of the year in 2023. And yeah, I just think it's an incredible crank-based experience. You don't have to be incredibly deft with your movements like in some platformer experiences. So it's a little bit forgiving in that way, but thought-provoking. And I completely loved this experience. Do you guys remember playing this one?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This reminds me a lot of Load Runner. I think I mentioned that on the podcast. It's a very different experience from Load Runner, and the crank to undo is really really cool. But it always just kind of conjures that memory of playing Load Runner when I play Fall of the Lena Temple,
Hmm.
which is a good thing. I enjoyed that game quite a lot.
Yeah.
So I've never played Load Runner. Is that Hyper Load Runner?
On the Game
Hyper
Boy,
Load
I think it
Runner
was.
is it's a a different title. So Load Runner's big deal is that there were like infinite bajillion levels, and so level packs, became different releases on different platforms.
Hmm.
Elena Temple, I think, is more accessible. I remember Load Runner
Yes,
getting
a lot
pretty
more.
difficult.
The crank to undo is a huge
Yeah.
huge aid in that accessibility. Um, so yeah, great pick, Ryan.
Yeah. I feel like if we had to pick one game, then this might be it. Like if the three of us were tasked with
Had to
picking
work
just one
together.
game. Yeah. Yeah. Basically, this might, I mean, I would nominate this for maybe our one game out of this list.
Cool. Cool. Well, Grim Talon, those are some high words of praise. Thank you for making this, and thank you for making this not only accessible gameplay wise, but also price. Full price is $3. Every once in a while, it goes on sale for nothing. So go check out The Fall of Elena Temple if you've got some time.
Hmm. All right. I think I'm up.
Yeah.
You
Uh,
are.
I'll start with a game that's often mentioned on this type of list, but for good reason. And it's Island by Ron Lent. That's EYE Land by Ron Lent. It's a lo-fi adventure game. It's got some puzzles. It's got a lot of really interesting visuals. And there's a sequel coming soon. It gives a narrative with, I don't think there's any words or very few words, but it's a short adventure. It takes about an hour to play, and it came out early in the Playdate um, life cycle, and really kind of blew my mind as like this arty adventure game. And we got a lot of really good ones initially, but this one was amazing. When games like Journey and whatnot get thrown away or get thrown around as, oh, there's these benchmark games that you got to play, you got to play, you got to play. And Island still holds up as a game you got to play. I mean, simple puzzles, but they're effective, and a narrative that is somewhat emotional, but fun and somewhat light. Um, yeah, it just meant a lot, and the animations were great. I think it's Pulp.
It
If I
is
remember
pulp.
right.
That's what I
Yeah.
was going to say. Is this was the first one of the first pulp projects that I had seen that really blew my mind and
Mhm.
made me understand the power of that tool. Um, so there were some early games that came out that did similar things, and we'll talk about some more here as we go through the list. But Island and particularly the graphics,
Mhm.
just really blew me away. The large tiles that were used for some of the things, and the way that everything flows together so seamlessly.
it made me realize that the Playdate is a tool that artists didn't have before this, maybe, and now it's in their hands, and now people have a new way of expressing themselves. And
Y-
pretty fun.
Yeah, I love how accessible Panic has made the Playdate development platforms, plural, making this web-based development platform with Pulp, but in addition to that, the software development kit too for, folks who are a little more advanced than that. But you also mentioned that this was an early in the Playdate life cycle game. This was first published in May 2022. That's real early.
Hmm.
So
Mhm.
this has been around a minute. But yeah, real hot out the gate with this one, Ron Lint. Nice job.
Yeah, yeah, very much so. Okay, Nick, you're up again
Already? Okay.
already.
Uh, Next from me is Castle Tintagel. Tintago?
Don't know.
Tinjal.
Um,
Tinjal. Okay.
and it's by Pixelated Opus LLC. So this is a sort of Castlevania-like uh, action platformer, and I was absolutely blown away. I love this type of game, um, typically, but I didn't really think it was extremely possible on the Playdate to have a platformer that was so telegraph so well the things that are foreground and background, along with smooth scrolling and uh, just these kind of expansive levels that you can crawl through, along with a really cool story that I enjoyed. Um, so this, for me, is like one of the action games that really opened my eyes to the Playdate as an action platform as well. And if you listen to some of the early episodes of the podcast, I talk about how, or I opine, that maybe the Playdate is more suited to puzzle games or things that don't require quick reaction times. And this is the game that changed my mind. I sat down and just played through this thing front to back. I loved every second of it. It was extremely challenging in the version that I played, and then I think there were some more accessibility options that were added later on. So if you're concerned about the difficulty, if you've played a game like Castlevania and been kind of turned off by just how challenging and inaccessible it is, this is not uh, that difficult to get into, and you should not be afraid. Pick it up, check out what the Playdate can do, and open your eyes like it opened mine.
I just want to jump in here for a minute and talk about what a masterclass of one-bit imagery this game is. You talked about how clear it was to see, even though it's a one-bit LCD screen for this action platformer. And take a look at these sprites. I mean, we've got this primarily white character on primarily black backgrounds. Even if there is background texture, like some of those bricks and some of the vertical elements, they start fading away and fading down to black so that you can see the character very easily. Even on that third GIF there, where there's multiple vertical elements, like it fades down on the bottom, but it also fades down on that second level as well, so you can see your character. And in addition to that, there's also a ton of different enemies that you can look for. Like I loved looking at the enemies in this game. You want to look out and beware of them, but I was also like trying to drink in all their details, not
Mm-hmm.
only of the enemies, but the environments as well were just so well rendered and immersive and complete with animated headshots and the whole bit. What do you call them, Don? AAA games?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Fantastic work here.
Watching the gifs, it just makes me want to watch more. Like I wish the gifs weren't so short. Just
Makes
so
me
much
want to go
going
play
on.
it some
Looks so
more.
good. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Good pick, Nick. Well,
All right.
I guess Don, did you want to say anything about Castle Tintagel?
Tintagel. I looked it
Tintagel?
up. Tintagel. Tintagel.
Tintagel?
Yeah, not my kind of game, but for what it is, it's very good, and um, it's a strong action game. Very good pick.
Cool, cool. All
All
right,
right,
my
Ryan.
next one is Snickers. Stay hungry. So this this is one that I played nonstop when I finally started to play it, and I didn't stop playing it until I hit number one on the leaderboard. So we've got Hello Playdate podcast still represented on here.
Oh, wow.
It is
Yeah.
also the game that broke my Playdate. I played this so much and it's so D-pad heavy that I am convinced that this is what broke my D-pad. So, be a little gentle if you're using this game, but essentially it is a snake game. And there's been several snake games on the platform, but this one had so many interesting mechanics of trying to eat a particular type of block. There's these three different types of blocks, and if you start loading up a particular type of block, you can eventually cash them in for points. But the more you build up, the more points you get. But the more you build up, the more likely you are to get caught by the back of the screen because the whole screen is moving on you. There's these wonderful, like, almost like, you know, 66 Batman, Biff Bam Pow exclamations that happen when you do something good or when you do something bad. So there was this really fun, like, intentionally cheesy element about it. But then at the same time, even though there's this intense gameplay, I remember the music of it was very, like, oddly sedate. And the whole experience just lit me up and I could not put it down for the longest time. And if you have any interest in snake games, I would recommend it 1,000%. What did you guys think about Snecris?
Yeah, I love this one too. A lot of fun. And this is one that is on mobile, but it looks way better on Playdate. Like it's much more interesting on Playdate and charming and fun. I don't know, like the fonts and the animation and everything, they're just more interesting on Playdate. It's weird. I don't know why they aren't sort of one to one. It just pops on the Playdate somehow. Yeah, I really enjoyed this one as well. Good pick.
I think you may have been the one to turn me on to this, Don. I think you pointed me at it and you're like, hey, I know you're into snake games. Check this one
Right.
out. Yeah, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
so glad you did.
Yeah, the different modifiers are what really makes this game for me. So things that are counter to the typical snake game. So you're not
Mhm.
just all about building that length and eating those apples, eggs, whatever you're eating in the normal snake game. Um, things are represented in the gifts for this catalog entry, like high wind, or you see lightning striking, things like that. Are different and unique, and all the animations and, as Ryan said, kind of the comic style um, action words that pop out really gave it a nice flair.
And that encroaching wall is a really interesting mechanic
Yes.
too, because not only do you need to stay away from it, but as the game progresses, there are more and more blocks that are unused that then get sucked up by the wall and create more bricks. So it's like progressively getting larger and your area of play is getting smaller, but at the same time, you're trying to keep your snake as long as you possibly can. It was just such a great risk reward mechanic in that game. Yeah, big, big, big recommendations for me.
Good pick. Yeah.
Very, very cool. All right, Don, you're up.
All right, my next game is Macho 3000 by Yang Ming, published by YMGS. This is a match three. You're matching different elements like rain or leaves, fire, etc., snow, and earning coins, collecting magical items. It's full of secrets, and it sort of has this roguelike element to it where you're selecting different power-ups between each round, and they add modifiers to your gameplay. It's got daily challenges and tons of unlockable items, and so you're constantly digging into sort of different experiences each time you play because the modifiers are different each time, or you can choose to buy different ones. It just has a lot of variety to it. And we talked about this one not too long ago, just a few episodes ago, but I just had a lot of fun coming back to it over and over and over. Super polished, has a pretty cute art style. It had some small frustrations like the boss fights I think we talked about where we hit walls here and there, but ultimately it just kept me coming back over and over and over and trying to unlock more items and find more secrets. And the achievements, I mean, there's a bunch of achievements and high score boards and stuff, so those are always fun to chase down and take a look at. And the more you play, sort of the better the game gets. It's one of those that grows and grows, as most roguelikes do. But yeah, Matcho 3000 is one that I really enjoyed.
I loved figuring out what each item did in concert with the other items and trying to come up with the best combinations to progress the furthest. I thought this was really incredible because you can start out and you're knocking out 3 blocks at a time or whatever, and once you start learning the combinations and you see the power that the items have and you start going for those, you can start doing, clearing the entire screen with one move multiple times. It's really pretty impressive the way that the game is structured and builds and how everything interoperates.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of work went into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool game. Very, very polished. Just a seamless experience. This may not have been, one of my top picks. I think this is probably the one that Don was mentioning that I
Yeah.
was not as big of a fan as he was about it. But anytime a game makes someone just, have an inability to put it down. I think there's really something to be said for that. And hearing Don's experience with it, I'm sure you're not alone, Don. Like I said, such a polished game, very seamless animations, tons of different power-ups to pick up and explore. And like Nick was saying, just, it's neat to see all these different types of things that you can use to advance your gameplay. Yeah, good pick.
Very good. And keeps getting updates too, which is I love that.
Yeah, just a
It's a
couple
healthy
months
game.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Well, hey guys, it looks like we're about halfway through our Centennial Celebration catalog game group, and why don't we take a little breaky poo here and hear from another one of our dear listeners. Garrett, take it away.
Don, Nick, Ryan, I just wanted to say thank you so much for 100 great episodes of what I think is great content that's totally free and just makes having my Playdate that much more special. And yeah, you guys are the best. Really quick, just top 3 favorite Playdate games out of the air. I'm going to say that new game Fish, Spilled Mushrooms, and Pick Pack Pup. Again, love you guys. You're the best. Thanks so much. This is Garrett. Bye.
Garrett, thank you so much for calling in. That's a killer list, man. It sounds like you are a puzzle game fanatic. I think you're in good company here. I have not tried Fish yet. Have you guys tried Fish?
I haven't, but I'm really excited to.
Yeah, that sounded like it was a real high recommendation there for, a top 3 list. That's killer. Don, have you tried Fish?
No, I was gonna say his shout out makes me want to grab it though.
Yeah, same. Well, man, Garrett, thank you so very much for your very heartfelt message. It fills our hearts that we help with some enjoyment of this lovely little device. I feel like recording this show keeps me engaged, but it's so cool to hear that this show helps others stay engaged too. So thank you for saying that, and thank you for leaving a message for us. That was really, really special.
Yes. Thanks so much for listening. I can't believe you made it through all the boops. But
Yeah.
congratulations and thanks for listening
Thanks,
and
guys.
for calling.
You know what they say, come for the news and notes, stay for the boops.
I don't think anyone says that.
I just said that.
Anyway,
Yeah.
who's next?
I think it's
it's
Nick.
me.
Yeah.
Nicholas.
All right. Hey, I wondered if you could come along with me and play Along Came a Spider. Okay, that intro was pretty weak, but Along Came a Spider is a fantastic adventure game, and it's a mix of action and adventure. You switch from adventure scenes to action scenes seamlessly as you're exploring this world, and you play as a spider. It is mind-blowing to play this game and know that it was made in pulp. This is another one of those, and there are many pulp devs that have come along and created these experiences which kind of really blow me away with the capabilities that they're able to wring out of that fairly limited but accessible web programming framework. And Along Came a Spider is definitely one of those. When you see the size again of the tiles, the sprites that are used, particularly the enemy sprites, it's just incredible. But cutscenes, animations, it's very cute. It's very fun. It reminds me a lot of many games that I've played over the years. It's like a love letter to a lot of those games, and there are a lot of different references and things that you can pick up as you play through. Just a beautiful, fun game, and I very much enjoyed it. What did you all think?
I can't believe this is $2 still.
Right?
I know.
Yeah,
so
this
much
is-
game for $2.
Yeah, this I kind of lump in with Island is like, this is what you can do. This is one of those earlier games though. This is what you could do with Pulp. It's amazing. Really strong sprite work and fun gameplay and a pretty bite-sized story, but was memorable and interesting, charming. Yeah, can't miss it.
Yeah, agreed. And if you pick this up for $2 and enjoy it, there is a follow-up game too, Along Came a Spider, Valley of the Hollow, which really pushes the pulp platform even further. So check out Eric Nid's Arachnid's adventure here as the titular spider character. I don't think you're going to be disappointed.
And that's Along Came a Spider by Fat Nose Games. All right, Ryan, what's next?
Nicholas, next for me is a recently discussed game by John Simintov called Cranky Cove. In Cranky Cove, you're hanging out in this little town of cranky people. They want some stuff from you, and you got to give it to them by spinning these concentric wheels of stuff to create these like amalgamations of things. So, like if you're a baker and you rotate a rolling pin in front of them, and then there's some bread in front of you, then you can make, I can't remember what, some tortillas or something. I don't know. Anyway, this game was not even picked by me. This was a Don suggestion. Yet another AAA title suggested by Don that I made my way through the entirety of it in the couple of weeks we had leading up to our discussion of it not long ago. And I was just so bound and determined to complete this game because not only were we discussing it, but because it was so gosh darn fun. Like as you continue through the levels, you start to amass more and more items that you can pair together to make things. And then eventually toward the end of the game, you're getting toward items that need like four, five, six different combinations in order to prepare them for the request that the townsfolk are making of you, and it just gets to be really complex and but starts out in a pretty accessible way. Um, I loved the story that went along with it too. It's not just a matching puzzle game, like there's a narrative element to it. Um, Man, I don't know what else to say about this, but this was a very recent, very high uh high pick for me. Dawn, I feel like I want to turn this over to you because once again, you're the inspiration for me liking this game so much.
This is another one that got semi-recent updates, so it really shows that the dev is proud of it, loves it, and is here to support the game, which I love. I don't like when games are just kind of sent out to pasture, and this is not in that pile. Also, it convinced Ryan to install the Achievements app.
Yeah, I still don't care about it, but I did love this game.
Which I really like. Yeah, I Ryan had such enthusiasm for it and was really happy with that. Um, I liked that it had so much accessibility where I could put on no fail mode and I didn't feel this time crunch, which would have killed the game for me. But I was able to turn that off and really just kind of chill and do what I could with the game, take my time. And even if I was playing poorly, it didn't matter because I was having fun and creating different combinations and seeing, oh, well, what you just kind of never know what's going to happen next. What weird combination is going to create something different? And yeah, it just kind of constantly brought a smile to my face. And what better praise can you give the Playdate? Like that's the Playdate in a nutshell. Like
Yeah.
just makes you happy to
Mhm.
play it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm looking at this Cranky Cove catalog page. It looks like there's a little update. Do you guys see this? Listen to the Hello Playdate podcast review of Cranky Cove. Spoiler, they loved it. We sure did. We sure did, John Sementov. Oh, that's very nice of you to include that. I just noticed that for the first time. Cool.
It's a very fun game. A lot of great pressure on the player to perform. So one of the things that I look for with games is how they make the player feel. And it seems like a simple thing, but it can be really hard to do well. And Cranky Cove is a great example of making the player feel that anxiety, but also feel like they're the smartest person in the world when they solve the puzzle and are able to serve uh, the people who are asking for different things. So great work. Fun game. Thank you.
Awesome. Way to go, John Sementov. And we should probably move on to Don's next pick.
Yeah, my next pick is Four Track by Matt Sefton, formerly Ginger Beard Man. This is a golfing game, but you're in a tank and you're all 18 holes are in the same little tiny Playdate screen, and you're shooting the ball from hole to hole. It's I think it's what is it what is the what's it called, Nick, when the course is randomly generated, procedurally generated?
Procedurally
There
generated.
we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's tens of thousands, I think, of golf course combinations that so you're never really playing the same course twice. And it's fun to drive around, shoot the ball, and get better and better. It's really easy to get hole in ones and build the combinations, or I think they're called chains, build up chains and try and get high scores and stuff. There's a lot of uh, customization options, and it's just one I had a lot of fun with, just lobbing the ball around. I love a golf game, and this is just such a tiny little experience that just to pick up and play game. I love the little arcadey things. This felt like a little Japanese toy in a way. Like I turned my Playdate into a little toy. Whereas there wasn't like, I guess sort of like a Game and Watch in a way, where you're just stuck on one screen and you're getting as much experience as you can out of that one screen instead of a tinted gel where you're getting a whole deep experience. This is just you're grinding out a high score. but it never got old for me. I hope I'm making myself clear and not just rambling. It feels like I'm rambling. Okay, I'll let somebody else talk. But anyway, four track, I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, yeah. This was a really unique golf experience for me. I had never played anything like it. Evidently, it was based on a game called Ball und Panzer Golf on the X68000. Uh, Evidently, that was a Japanese personal workstation, but I guess that makes a lot of sense when you were saying it felt like it turned your Playdate into a little Japanese toy of sorts. So that was a good comparison. But yeah, I had never really played a golf game like this before. So this was fun getting to know. And even my resistance to procedurally generated games like that always like makes me a little overwhelmed. Like I can't learn a thing. It's always going to be different. It did not feel that overwhelming to me. Like the whole game is right there in front of you. So like even though you're sort of learning a new course more or less, it it's pretty accessible. So I like that about it too. Nick, what did you think?
I love this game. First of all, it's just fun to drive around a tank shooting golf balls. But secondly, um, having all of the holes of the course laid out on a single screen, I think, is brilliant on the Playdate. It makes it feel so much more accessible than if you were driving over a large course and trying to like make your way to the putting area to shoot.
Mhm.
So I think a lot of great design decisions were made with this game, and it's a lot of fun to play. And it's a really easy pick up and play game too.
Indeed. And it's got high
Cool.
scoreboards. Looks like Gamma Goat is just dominating on those things.
Hey, nice work, Ian.
Nice job.
Cool. All right, we're coming down the home stretch here. Last pick for each of us. Nick, take it away.
All right, my last but not least pick of this discussion is Bloom by RNG Party Games. So this is, I think, a game that I talked about on maybe the first episode
Yeah, I think so.
of the show, and it is brilliant. I loved my time with this game. It is a heavy narrative social sim, and you play as a character who's setting up a flower shop on inside this building, and on the roof is where you grow the crops that you sell in the flower shop. And meanwhile, you're going through some things, and so every day in the game, there are different things that are happening. People are texting the character all the time, and there's a lot of personal growth that the character experiences. And I thought the writing was really, really insightful and interesting, and it had a ton of different gameplay elements, which were really interesting. So there's kind of that real-time clock-ish aspect of an Animal Crossing. It doesn't quite work like a real-time clock-driven game, which is all the better, in my opinion, because you can pick it up in short little bursts and experience something new and then put it down, come back to it. The other thing that's interesting is it's got this great growth arc, not just of the character in the narrative, but of growing these crops. So you start out and there's not a lot of room to grow things, and over time you build and build, and you have a lot more space to grow things, and you also have a lot more variety. As you start earning more money, you can buy more and more expensive seeds to grow. And there's even mini games and things that you can experience outside of just growing and selling crops and working through the narrative. It's also got a fantastic soundtrack. So this game just blew me away at the beginning of the Playdate, as far as indie games were concerned, non season games. So this is one of the earliest side-loaded games that I put on my Playdate, and I just enjoyed it top to bottom. Did you all get a chance to play much Bloom? I know, Don, you gave it a whirl.
Yeah, I played it. I didn't finish it, but I played it for several days or weeks around the launch of the Playdate and enjoyed it. But I always meant to keep going with it and just got wrapped up with everything else. I think maybe the launch, coming out at launch when we were getting 2 games a week for 12 weeks, um, maybe is what distracted me. Like if they'd come out later, maybe I would have stuck with it. But yeah, very, very, very good game, very polished, and a lot to soak in here.
Yeah, I do not have a lot to add because I have not played Bloom. This was very early in the play date and very early in our podcast, as you mentioned. Sort of before, I think this was pre side loading for me. Do you recall back in the early
It
days of the
was.
podcast?
Yeah.
I was
It
very
was.
frightened about side loading. And so I think you kind of beat me to the punch on this one. But hey, it's on catalog now, so I don't have much of an excuse anymore. But
It's true.
yeah, I'm glad you included this very early pick, Nick.
Well, thanks very much, and thanks for listening to all these games that I described. So, with my 4 games done, Ryan, what is your 4th game?
Well. Speaking of early-ish picks, I've got another one from Scenic Route Software. This is my first Scenic Route pick, but the second of our list here. Scenic Route is the one developer who came up multiple times in our game group here. So the game I'm talking about is Generations. So Generations is this incredible little puzzle game where you are trying to match 3 tiles, and when you do, then the character on the tile sort of evolves or ages, I guess I should say. So, storks evolve into babies, and babies evolve into toddlers, and toddlers to kids, and kids to teenagers, teens to adults, and adults to elderly folks, and so on. So, you achieve different ranks based on the different generations that you complete. You complete a generation if you match 3 elders. And there's just some really interesting game mechanics of being able to use tiles or save them and where you place them because there's a pretty limited board. I really like the environment that's created. It's not just a bunch of tiles on your screen, like you're looking inside this living room with a couch and some windows, and once in a while, a little cat will pop up. And I also love that we've got to know this particular dev a little bit and know that there's like personal connection behind a lot of these things. Like the black cat is a cat that is in many Scenic Route Software games because that is Scenic Route Software's cat. Also, the couch in here is actually a couch of his. So anyway, there's like a lot of personal connections here to the developer, not necessary to know for the game, but fun to know as like a big fan of the game and of Scenic Route Software's games. So, this is a game that not only I have played, but as Scenic Route Software mentioned in the call from earlier, I was handing it to my son and he was getting really into it too. And recently, on a trip back home to visit my parents, my mom was playing it too. So we had 3 generations of Claders playing Generations on the Playdate. It was really, really fun. So, anyway, this took up a healthy amount of my playtime closer to the time it was released, and I still find myself coming back to it to just have a quick go at it and see how I do. It's just such a fun, immersive puzzle game, and if I'm not mistaken, I think this is yet another Dawn suggestion that I wouldn't have picked up otherwise. So again, I'm going to popcorn this over to Dawn and see what you have to think about this one.
I think this was my first game of the year,
Hmm.
2022.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was the year of shift for me. And then when I was making that list, I was like, Generations is the game that I end up going to more than Shift. As much as I was championing Shift that year, Generations just was the one I couldn't put down, and it's still one that I'll pick up and play a few rounds, and it just kind of never gets old. And I
Yeah.
think this is on mobile too. Um, and I'll play it there. I mean, I don't think I know that it's on mobile, and I'll play it there. And it's sort of an evergreen game now. Um, yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it, but it's just sort of a charming idea that
Yeah.
it's not just connect the gems or the fruits like every other game, but he made it something interesting using these family portraits.
And just like every Scenic Route software game, it's just dripping with polish and accessibility features. Like if the icons of the people are not intuitive enough to move from one to the other, because there are some interesting things like different genders can come together to form a person. And so like if you pair uh, uh, a male leaning character and a female leaning character, those are like characters, so they can get together and form three. Um, for me, that was a little difficult at first, knowing which ones went with which, and sometimes the ages were a little difficult for me to understand initially when I started playing. So there are actually numbers that you can switch to. So instead of storks, it's one, and babies are two, and you're matching these very clear icons. I tried that out and it wasn't for me. I really love looking at the portraits of all these people,
Mhm.
and I got to know them, pretty quickly. But I love how there are accessibility features built in there too.
Well, Ryan, actually, I play with the numbers, and
That does not surprise me.
I don't know why. Um, However, I love the default portraits as well. It's just the numbers click a little better for me for some reason. But one of the things that I love about Scenic Route Software Steve's games is all those accessibility features that you mentioned, all the different options, the love and care that he puts into every single game, um, and making it the best experience that it can be for all the players. Just an incredible amount of work and passion goes into making these games, and it really shines through.
Agreed.
Don, I think you've got one more for us.
Oh, asleep at the wheel here. I keep forgetting to go back, and I keep closing our list. Okay, last one is I think the newest game on our list, and it is a season two game. But since they
Yeah.
split up the bundle, this is okay to do, and that is Black Hole Havoc by Cosmic Bros. This one I thought looked really goofy and didn't know what to think, honestly, when I saw it in the season two thing. But man, it got its hooks into me. Your it's sort of like Bust a Move or Bubble Bobble or whatever.
Yes,
Yeah.
Hmm.
Puzzle Bobble.
Puzzle Bobble, yes, thank you. Where you're shooting orbs into other orbs to make them go away, but it just keeps throwing different mechanics at you, and it's got these really weird, cool cutscenes interspersed
Unbelievably
in there.
animated cutscenes. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
it is real weird and silly, and I loved it. I played it start to finish and enjoyed it the whole thing. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't want to give away all of the, I don't know, curveballs they throw in there, but there's a lot here to
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
And as much as I thought I wasn't going to like it, it just kept surprising me over and over and over, and really, really enjoyed it. Black Hole Havoc, what did you guys think?
I think it's a heck of a pick. I also just thoroughly enjoyed my time with it and loved not only the gameplay mechanics, as you mentioned, but the off the wall cutscenes and storyline that went along with it, and the intentional shoehorning of very questionable physics to make this whole black hole thing happen, and like in terms of explaining why black holes bouncing off a wall actually works. And yeah, it was just so incredibly fun in gameplay, in narrative, in visuals. I think it's a fantastic pick.
Yeah, I have to agree. There's not much more I can add to that, Ryan. But yeah, it's just a very fun game with a lot of really fun humor. It's a particular type of humor, but I think it's really it just tickles my fancy, as Ryan would say. So, great game.
I feel like Toe Jam and Earl changed my brain for the rest of my life. Like playing that at age 11 just totally worked me permanently. And this is definitely in that vein.
It is in that vein. That's a good pick.
Yeah, good comparison. Cool. Well, that does it for our Centennial Celebration catalog game group. We thought we picked some good games. We hope you think we picked some good games. If you're not familiar with some of these games, they come highly recommended. So take a look at them, check them out. And we've just really loved being a part of this Playdate ecosystem. We love getting together and talking with each other and talking about this lovely little handheld device. And I don't know about you guys, but I can't believe people listen to us
I can't
100
either.
episodes, no less. And speaking of which, I can't believe that this particular person called back. Let's listen to the last voicemail of the show.
Hello, Don, Nick, and Ryan. It's Joe, or also known as he who must not be named correctly occasionally on the podcast. Just calling in to say congratulations on hitting 100 episodes. It's been fun to listen in, every couple weeks or however long it's been. I was not on the podcast for the initial season 1 run. I think I started listening right after that. But it's been a fun time. I like catching up on things with y'all, and hope at some point to see one or all three of you in person sometime. It's nice to hang out with you in a parasocial way. So yeah, have a great week and a whole bunch of great weeks after that. Bye.
Thank you, Joe.
Joe,
from you.
Not James
The
or
actual
Justin or Jimmy or anything else. Joe,
Ciao.
thank you so much for forgiving us and calling back. Oh, I feel so bad about that. But obviously, you're a very tolerant person. Being here as long as you have and calling back. Thank you for leaving that voicemail.
Thanks very much, Joe. It is. I mean, Ryan touched on this, but it's really incredible to me that people actually listen to us and are interested in participating in the show and talking with us in the Discord and all the things that that people do to make this show what it is and so much better than it would be if we were just talking at each other.
And calling the Bingo's tip line.
That's right. I haven't had any bingo repair requests from any listeners yet.
Well, maybe we need to rename that tip line.
I don't think it's possible.
Oh, man. Well, Joe, thank you again. We would love to hang out in an in-person, in a parasocial, in any other way. We consider ourselves lucky that you are our listener. And thank you so much for calling back again. We really appreciate it. Yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for us, guys, except for the fact that we've got a little announcement of next episode's game. Don?
Well, you might be sick of hearing his name, but I chose a Scenic Route Software game because it's kind of holiday themed.
I can see that.
It's kind of like Christmas party themed, and it's cheese and crackers, Scenic Route Software. Playing this game, I'm like, you know what? Like the goal of the game is you put different cracker sandwich combinations together cracker topping combinations, and you get points, and you have to stick with the theme. Oh, it's a soccer thing or it's a party, and they don't like savory snacks, so you got to make sweet snacks. Anyway, I'm like, oh man, that does sound good. Like, oh, basil leaf and olive that on a pita, that does sound good. I got to try that. So there's tons of toppings. Go get in there, get on the leaderboards, make some toppings, make some sandwiches, be inspired for your holiday parties, and let us know what you think in a couple weeks. With Cheese and Crackers by Scenic Route Software, currently $6 on catalog. Ryan, I know you're going to blow through the end of the episode, but and I wanted to thank everybody so much for listening and being part
Let's
of our
get started.
community. And being part of our community and giving us an audience to speak to and listen to our ramblings and awkward pauses and self-deprecation and Ryan's boops.
There was a boop
and
this episode.
Nick's technical hiccups in my rambling. And we really appreciate you guys all being there, sharing your games with us, all these devs sharing their amazing games and experiences with us. It really does mean a lot. Thank you so much. Sharing your feedback, leaving your voicemails. The Discord is so much fun. I was going to check, I forgot. We have 262 people on our Discord. I can't believe that many people hopped into the Discord. And I was going to see how many downloads we have. I forgot to look, but it's close to 50,000, which is, there you go. That's our number. I hope you guys don't mind us sharing it. But that's a lot. I mean, that's a decent amount for 100 episodes.
I had no idea it was that many. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. And just to blow through a couple, I just want to rapid fire shout outs to like Dom, Pizza Dev, Orkin, 8-Bit Bear, Deke, a lot of Bucky's Revenge,
Lasagna.
Toad, Fat Nosed Games, Dino's always there making comments and helping us out. North Vibe, Julie Bjornskov, Pixel Ghost.
Been a minute, but
Daiso.
Nick F, thank you.
Yeah, Fev, Kodiak, Leo the Low, Deimos, of course, Chelman, Dom.
Did we say Gamma Goat?
Gamma Goat, of course. Ledbetter is the Rock. Johnny Darko, Garima Squirrel,
Iris Jiminy, Deimos Games.
We've got a million amazing members.
We're gonna forget.
We're gonna forget most of them. So it's dicey. Go ahead.
Next episode, we'll just be reading off all 238 Discord members.
I think that's safest. Don't forget Chef Star.
Yeah, of course, Chef.
Yep.
We mentioned Chef earlier. He wrote the lone blog post on our Gaming on 10 Minutes a Week site. If you want to read that, there'll be a link in the show notes to that if you're interested in checking that out.
Cool.
Anyway.
All right. Well, I think this is really the end of this particular episode. And if you've made it this far, dear listener, then maybe you would fancy this Hello Playdate podcast pin that I just minted for all of us. Like I said, it's a real limited number here, about 20 of them left as of the time we record this. Once all 20 are purchased, I'm ripping that payment button off that page. If you want to go check it out, it's in the show notes, but it's elephanteater.com/HPP for Hello Playdate Podcast pin. So that's HPPPIN after elephanteater.com, and that should take you straight there. So I hope you fancy it. I think they turned out just bonkers good. I'm really happy with the quality of them, and I think you will be too. But with that said, if you would like to listen to us, you can do so at helloplaydatepodcast.com or on the podcatching platform of your choice. We're on some socials. We're on the Blue Sky. We're at helloplaydate.bluesky.social. We're on YouTube when it likes to function. I think it's been reasonably solid these past couple of weeks, ? We're at youtube.com/@HelloPlaydatePodcast. You can email us, and by us, I mean Don, at HelloPlaydatePodcast@gmail.com. You can call us on the Bingo's tip line, and thank you so much to all the listeners who called up and left such wonderful messages on the Bingo's tip line. If you would like to share your voice with us on a future episode, you can do so at 724-BINGOS1. That's 724-246-4671. And I think that's gonna do it for this 100th episode. Thank you so much for being here. We can't thank you enough.
Thank you for mentioning the email. We got an email.
Hey.
Oh,
Congratulations for your 100th episode. I wish you all the best for another 6-7 episodes. What a timely mention.
Oh boy.
There. From Renee, aka Fishfeel.
Yes.
From Vienna.
Oh, fantastic.
Awesome.
Right under the wire. Thank you, Renee.
So cool.
thanks so much.
Yeah.
And thank you, everybody, for listening. And as Don would say, goodbye.
That was so suspenseful.
That's a Nick farewell. Good night.